Well, good evening and welcome to Town Talk. Russ is back. I'm back. Part of the holidays.
Yeah,
Half the
yes.
holiday season is over.
Crazy.
Well, I should say a third of the holiday season.
Yep.
Because we got 3 in a row right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy for the next few
Oh.
weeks.
And the thing is, we go into January, then we got to start getting ready. A lot of stuff coming up because before you know it, town meeting is going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of stuff's going to be on the agenda again.
Mm-hmm.
Warrant closing the end of March. Also, we'll know who's going to be running for selectmen
Right.
and any other position in town. And there are going to be people that aren't running for re-election. There's people that aren't. So it's going to be an interesting year coming up.
Yes, it is.
2019.
Blows
God,
me away.
I know.
Just crazy.
We're,
Just crazy.
we're 18 years into the new millennium.
I saw a really, really funny thing about the millennials, and it was on the back of a Jeep, and it was the stick shift pattern
Yep.
for a Jeep, and it says a millennial like alarm system. You know, meaning they couldn't drive a stick shift if their life depended on it. Nobody knows how to drive a stick shift anymore.
I know. They don't know what clutches.
Nope. And you know what's really weird? They're coming out with a brand new Jeep pickup truck called
Yep.
the Gladiator. And they're all, a bunch of them 90% of them are coming out stick shift, which
Well,
I think is awesome. I mean, I love those.
Oh, yeah, I think it's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But, the thing is, but how about a column shift? They'd never be able to handle that.
Oh, man, 3 on a tree? Oh,
Yeah.
my God, they wouldn't even know what the hell that meant.
No.
That'd be awesome. I have to say something before we go any further, because I forgot the last time I was here. But this situation in our neighborhood where a gentleman who's lived in our neighborhood for over 20 years had an accident. And he broke his arm. His wife used to watch us. He watched us. And, he got back from the hospital and he fell again. And if it wasn't for the driver of the senior bus, who deserves a tremendous amount of thanks, he would have been laying there for hours and hours and hours. But the guy came to pick him up in the senior bus, and he didn't come out. And that guy went in and went and walked around so he could see into the windows. And the gentleman was laying on the floor. He could not get up. And if it wasn't for him, he'd have been laying there all day too. So that guy I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him, but he's done a hell of a job, and he deserves a lot of credit for being a good human being.
That's the kind of people you need.
It's awesome. I mean, he
Someone
cares about the people he's
He's
picking up.
conscientious, yep.
That's terrific. You don't get that every day.
That happened to my uncle at Postma.
Oh yeah, Eddie.
His furnace, he had an old furnace, didn't want to renew it. He didn't want to
What a
upgrade
shock.
it. It worked fine, why do anything? But he had to go down cellar every night and fill the tank because it was steam.
Water. Yeah.
So I would say, you got to get rid of that. You can't be going down cellar. He had arthritis bad. He would go down cellar on his butt because he couldn't walk down.
Mm.
Well, I bought him a phone like this, a remote phone. Not a cellular phone, but just a remote phone.
Yep.
So I said, if you go down cellar, take the telephone with you. Because something happens. Well, what's he do? He goes down one night, doesn't take the telephone,
Oh boy.
comes back up and fell down the stairs. Laid on the cellar floor, and this is in the middle of winter, cold, all night, till his brother-in-law, my other uncle, happened to go there, and he wasn't answering the door. He had a key, went in, found him on the floor. Well, then he ended up in a nursing home because once
Yeah.
you get, you lay there that long, you're permanently damaged.
Oh yeah. Well, we know somebody who died that way.
Yeah.
One of my, one of the finest selectmen in the town, and he, talk about bizarre. I mean, he loved his dogs. He took care of his dogs.
Oh my
and
God,
that's-
there were his children.
And that's how he died. I mean, one of the dogs ran by him. He slipped and fell.
Yep.
And he was, when they caught, somebody told me, one of the guys told me that when they got to him, his core temperature was 37 degrees.
Oh my
He
God.
didn't have a chance. I mean, he froze to death in his garage. It's awful.
And the thing is, you know it,
Oh, yeah.
and he couldn't do anything about it.
Nope. Sad. But I just wanted to say that because people out there need to know that there are people in this town that are doing a hell of a job, and they're conscientious and they care about the citizenry, and that's awesome. It really is.
I'll tell you, see, here's a guy who should have had first alert, something like that.
He had one.
But he didn't have it with him.
It was just past his reach.
Oh, you got to have it on your person.
Oh, I know. I know.
At least, like my cell phone's in my pocket. Because I think sometimes, I got problems with my knees. If I fell down a cellar stairs, but I got my cell phone with me. Because, God, if nobody's home, and nobody's going to be home all day, it could be a long day for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got so many people that are like that.
Right, you got a lot of elderly now.
Yeah.
People are living longer, and their significant others, spouses, whatever, are not there anymore. So
Yeah.
they're kind of stuck.
That was his situation.
Yeah, sure.
His
His wife
wife
passed away, yeah.
What, 10 years ago?
Yeah,
or
about
something?
that, yeah.
I think maybe more than 10 years
Yeah.
now.
Yep, that's too bad.
And you know what's worse? Now he can't even live in his home.
No, now he's in an assisted living place. But it got to take his cat. It's okay. Took his cat. But you look, we all have comfort level in our own home.
Yep.
You go to someplace else, it's not your own home.
And no, it isn't.
Your own home is your own home.
And there's something to it too. I was in Europe in the Army for almost 2 years. I was lucky. I was in a barracks with only one other guy and a roommate. We had individual rooms. So I wasn't in a big bay, a big barracks like you normally see. But it still wasn't home. It wasn't my own.
Yep.
It didn't have 100% the privacy that you have in your own home.
Oh yeah, that's your domicile. That's your castle.
Yeah. If I want to blast my stereo, I can blast my stereo.
Till your wife tells you to stop.
Right. Well, I do it when she's not home.
Okay.
And I don't do it. I blast my Amazon. What do you call them?
Oh, the
cylinder.
The cylinder.
The thing plays great.
Yeah.
I'd have to buy CDs. I buy them for my show, but I don't have to buy them to play at home anymore.
There you go.
I get any record I want. But things that change. But those alert, but those things there, I think in a lot of cases Medicare pays for it.
Yeah, like $19 a month.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I get calls all the time.
Oh, I know.
to try and sell me one.
I did it this year. My wife did it this year. I was being a dope. I was being conscientious, and I was blowing the leaves, and I was backing up, and I flipped over the garden, and I was stuck on my back. I looked like a turtle. I got the mic. She was working with me.
Because you had the backpack.
I had the backpack on. I was stuck.
Yeah.
I couldn't get up. We all do it. We all make mistakes. We all have little accidents, and you just got to know. It's too funny. It's too funny.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of leaves, one of my favorite complaints, or kvetches, as the Jewish people would say, is we don't pick up leaves. Okay. So, fine. I have a trailer. I have a vacuum. I have a tractor. Get the leaves, put them in the trailer, take them up to the dump, and you can't turn around because they haven't pushed them back from 2 weeks before.
So how do you get out now?
How do you empty them?
Yeah, how do you...
Look, the thing is, if we're going to have to go up there, at least maintain the damn thing. Send a bucket loader up there and fix it. Or pick up the damn leaves. Stop the baloney with not doing your job. That, to me, is not doing your job. It's open from April to December. Every week, somebody should be up there pushing that back. And I got to give him credit. I complained about it so much, and so did Paul. And Paul's a nice man. That not only did they, last week, they pushed it back, but they also fixed the road.
Oh.
Because that road was, you didn't have four-wheel drive. You weren't going up that hill. It was ugly. Ugly. But they got it. You can't expect the citizenry to have to use this facility and not take care of it.
But, it's not really being done the right way either.
No.
You got to put the lime down.
No.
You got to turn it.
Mm-hmm.
Not turn
You can't
it.
turn that.
No.
It's too big.
Yeah, now it's
a
too
mountain
big.
there.
Yeah, now it's a mountain.
I don't know what the heck they're going to do when it starts to encroach on that little road.
Well, it's going to eventually it's going to happen. I mean, you can only put so much in. You only put so much in a container.
Mm-hmm.
And every year, more and more.
I'm surprised that hasn't just really compacted itself, because it really hasn't over the years. You would think it would have compacted.
You're going to have
more.
to get another spot.
Oh, yeah. It's funny how many people you see up there. It really is funny.
Well, they don't use the sewer beds anymore.
Oh, put them there.
Right, I was going to say, why can't you dump it in there?
Why the hell didn't they make that the DPW yard? You got
Well,
plenty of room.
They were going to do that, but that got shut down like
Well,
everything
because
else.
you can't get over the hump.
Yeah,
So build it up.
right. Well, the thing is, you could have worked something out. Put a crossing where, worked out something with the other crossing with Youngsmith.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that just, it irks me to no end when you force people into doing something and then you make it hard for them to do that.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make any sense to me. And where does Mr. Smith make out with talking about the drugs? Where's Mr. Smith? I want to know how he made out.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, if
like to
you're
know how
watching,
he made
Mr.
out.
Smith, give us a call on how
Because
you
we're-
made out. You're going to address that with the town manager.
I'd love to know how he made out.
I know it really is a problem in this. It's a town.
I don't care where you
It's
go.
a problem everywhere, though.
I don't care where you go.
Yeah.
There's drugs everywhere. It's nuts. Well, it's on the news tonight. They got stopped the car, and the car had, I want to say, like a gun and like $500,000 worth of heroin in it.
Oh God.
But the guy who stopped the car had the canine, and the canine went with him, and he went nuts. So there.
The canines are amazing.
Oh, there. I felt so bad for that poor dog at the Bush funeral because he was lost.
He was.
He had a job. His job was to
Yep.
be the companion to George H.W. Bush.
Yeah.
And now he's gone, and he was sitting in front of the
Well,
casket.
if you can get a dog under Medicare for certain illnesses, under your health care. I know a man that I know very well. He's diabetic. He has a little Chihuahua, nicest little dog. And the reason he's got that dog, it can tell if his sugar is too high.
Smell it.
It smells it.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
And that's the reason he has a dog.
It's awesome.
I mean, the
It's
dog
awesome.
is with him all the time. This dog lives with him.
Look, dogs are wonderful animals. They know so much, and people don't get it. I used to laugh at Howie Carr used to do that crap. The dogs don't have any personality. Yeah, you don't have a dog.
Now
But they
he's got,
all have personalities.
now he's got the pugs he knows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, they do it. They all have personalities.
Yeah. Dogs are amazing animals. Just too funny. I always remember the dog. We had a dog that used to go. He used to walk the kids to school, and the whole neighborhood. They all
Yep.
walked to school at Balmer. And my dog was at the end of the street and wouldn't let the kids go by. Wouldn't let the kids go by. And they called me. And my wife went down. And what did they find out? There was a pedophile sitting in a car across the street.
Oh my God.
He would not let those
he
kids
knew
pass
that.
there. I don't know how. I don't know what. But he was. The cops came and finally they looked at the license plate and they questioned him and took him away. Dog walked home. Let the kids go. It was the weirdest thing we'd ever seen. But that dog was with those kids every day. He would wait for them to come and walk them back and take them in the morning.
It's amazing.
Oh.
It really is. I mean,
Well, that's why
and these dogs can sense things that you.
You got
How
bomb
would he-
dogs, you got drug dogs, you got
Yeah.
medical alert dogs. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But I felt so bad for that dog. Like, what am I going to do? Like, where am I going? But I guess it's going to go to a military family, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lab, isn't it?
Yellow Lab.
Yeah. Labs are fantastic.
Great dogs. Great
yeah.
dogs.
My sister-in-law now has those little Maltese. She's got 7 of them.
Oh, my God. She a herd?
Yeah.
I always.
And I said, why do you do that? I mean,
that's-
that's like having 7 little kids.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. You remember Ron White,
Yeah.
the comedian who used
Yeah.
to always
He
had
always
the
had the-
scotch and
he had
and
the
the
glass
cigar,
in his hand,
and
yeah.
he was talking about that. The little dogs on the front of the scotch bottle. He says,
Yeah,
for
the
every
Scotty dogs.
right, it's the little Scotty dogs. He says, for every 10 cases of that, I get a dog. He says, I got 30 head. Imagine dirty dogs. Oh, Jesus. You'd be feeding them. They just had a recall on dog food.
Yeah.
Was that on it?
I mean, what happens if you already fed your dog?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Fortunately, they have good stomachs. So one of the weird things I never knew about it was that you can actually have a a raw diet for them because they don't get salmonella. You can feed the dog raw chicken.
Yeah, yeah, because they have a digestive system that'll destroy it. Because well, they actually were wild at one time, and they a wild animal doesn't cook its meat.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
We're on dogs this Saturday from 12 to 4. Paw Steps, the new facility on Granite Street.
Yep.
They're having an open house.
Oh, cool.
Worthwhile, go down and see. I've had the tour there because I've had him on my other show, and what he's done there is amazing.
Really?
Oh.
Now, what is it exactly? Is it a hospital?
No, what it is, it's a veterinary clinic,
Yep.
and he can do certain care, probably more so than some places, and that's going to get him better as time goes on. But he does daycare, and they do long-term stays as well.
I got to tell you, that is the funniest thing to me.
I know.
It's just silly.
Well, in some cases,
I get it. I get it.
you might have a dog that you really need to have him in daycare.
There's a lot of dogs with separation anxiety, and they will eat your house.
Oh yeah, but you know what he told me? They're not only going to handle. They're not ready yet, but eventually they'll be taking cats in for long-time care or daycare, whichever you want to do. You know, if you're going to go away on vacation or if you're going to visit, you need to put your pet up. They'll be able to handle it, and also small animals. You know, like chinchillas and rabbits and
Guinea pigs
and all. Yeah, they're gonna do all that. And what they do, every dog that comes in, they do a psychoanalyst on the dog because every dog has a personality.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And if the dog barks a lot, they won't put him out. They won't put him outside. They'll take care of him inside because he has indoor parties with AstroTurf and a fake hydrant. But
You just gotta love
I mean, you got to see the place. It's amazing. It's what he's done. And every dog gets a pen. They can set up if you have more than one dog. And you know, sometimes people have a couple of dogs. Well, they'll be able to stay together because they want to see one another all the time. But they analyze the dogs to see where they put them, and they separate them by their personalities. So if a dog has a problem with other dogs, he won't be mixed in with the others.
Too funny.
I mean, it's really
Oh,
they got this down to a science.
one of my sons has a dog walker, and I laugh myself silly. I'm like, you have somebody come to your house during the day and walk your dog? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they got that program where you put a key, a special lock, so that they can unlock the door to get the dog out. Yeah, it works off the internet.
Just boggles them. People spend more money on their animals
They do
than they
it-
do on their kids.
I know. It's at least with the kids, eventually they grow up and move out. But you
They
can
never leave you alone, but they do move out.
right. But the dog, you got forever till it dies.
Yep.
If you're a responsible pet owner.
Right. Well, that's why there's a lot of dogs coming from California now because they don't have any place to live.
Well, yeah, because of the fires.
Fires.
Yeah. They're doing an adoption program for them. But did you see where, I think it was in your neighborhood, where the control officer, Dan Chauvin, does a great job.
Oh yeah.
He picked up a yellow lab that got hit by a car,
Ooh.
brought it to Tufts because it needed some serious attention. Well, Tufts wanted him to pay. He says, I can't, I don't have authority to pay for this. He gave the town manager's number. I don't know how it was handled. But the people that owned it weren't coming forward. I guess they finally did.
How do you not? That's just. It was funny because this summer, we were in the backyard, and this little dog, cute little dog, just come running in the backyard. And he was obviously lost. And he was frightened. You could
Yep.
see he was frightened. So I got him in the pool gate, which is enclosed,
Yeah.
so he couldn't get out. So we were trying to corner him, and one of the kids snuck up behind him and grabbed him. What do you think? The dog tore his hands apart. I'm like, no, don't sneak up behind him. And I laid down on the ground, got to his level, and he came over to me. I put him in my arm, and I had one of the kids get a a leash, and I just sat there and I petted him and relaxed him, and he was very fine till Dan came in, and it was hysterical because Dan took the leash and walked him in the front. He's got that little truck.
Yeah.
And it's got all the pads in the back, and took it right in the truck. Like, okay, I'm good.
He knows how to handle it.
Oh yeah, he's very good. Dan's a good guy.
Yeah, he does a great
He
job.
works with the police very well, and
Yep.
he does a good job. Dan's good people. He was laughing because we hadn't seen each other in a long time. And he's like, "Wow, I haven't been in this neighborhood in a long time." I'm like, "No, and it's a good thing."
By the way, he's going to be here on Thursday before Christmas, Thursday night on About the Valley. Does a great job singing.
Oh really? I thought maybe he was bringing his reindeer in.
No, he's fantastic. He plays guitar.
Oh, no
He
kidding.
plays at the French restaurant down at the Linwood Mill.
Oh yeah, I can't say the name of it.
Yeah, I forget the name
It's
of it.
like Menage a
Menagerie
or
or
something.
something. Yeah.
I can't say it. It's a great little restaurant though.
Yeah.
I love the crepes. It's fun.
Yeah.
Whenever we have people come into town for a tour of the building and stuff, so we take them because it's different. You gotta have a steak and cheese in a crepe. You can have a Reuben in a crepe.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try anything.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, he's going to be here. He did a great job. I don't know if you're familiar with the Hallelujah song written by Leonard Cohen.
Yep, sure.
You hear him do it. He did it here. We had it on Facebook and on the internet. The number of hits was unbelievable.
Cool.
That's why we're bringing him back.
Good.
People are asking, can you get him back in? Did a great job.
Yeah, a lot of talent.
Yeah, he does it. And like I say, he not only handles dogs, he handles all kinds of animals.
Oh yeah. Well, my son's been out on calls and there's a deer hitting the road.
Yeah.
He's not picking it up.
No, it's animal control.
Come on out.
Yep.
Yeah, he does it. It's funny.
Yeah.
You see some of the stuff that.
I mean,
There's a lot out here.
There's a lot of strange animals that you see. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we got bobcats out here now.
Fisher cats.
Fisher cats. Yeah, those things are unbelievable.
And they're nasty.
Somebody told me they were brought in here to handle some kind of another animal that was getting out of control, and now they're out of control. And that's what we usually do. They bring something in for something else. And
Oh sure.
it gets out of, like the gypsy moths. You know how we got those?
No, how?
Guy in Malden, Massachusetts, brought them here because they produce a fiber like silk, similar to silk, where silkworms, that's how they make silk from the fiber from silkworms. And he thought he was going to be able to do the same thing with gypsy moths. He had them on a window. So this is in the 1800s, and the jar fell and broke, and they disappeared.
Terrific. So
And
we owe it to him.
now we get because there's no natural predator for gypsy moths. That's why they went wild around here. Birds won't eat them.
They killed my apple tree.
Yeah,
Killed it.
They got that fur on them, so the birds won't eat them.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that eat them is chickens.
I don't have any.
I had them.
I don't want chickens.
We had the big infestation back in the 80s. I had chickens back then, and they kept them under control for me.
Wow, that's pretty wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny with some of the animals and things that people do with stuff.
Oh, but, trying to control. But look at, they brought the turkeys you see around here. They came from North Carolina. The state wanted to get them back into circuit because they were extinct in Massachusetts.
I didn't know that.
They were hunted to extinction back in back in the 19th century. Towards the end, just before the 1900s, they went extinct from hunting because they're not very bright. And you can see, they'll walk up to you for crying out loud. They'll attack you.
They're in our neighborhood.
Yeah. But people hunted them to extinction. Well, the state brought them back. And boy, they ever do well. Now they're everywhere. They're finding them in the city.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
They're
Same
like
with
geese.
same with the coyotes are back.
Oh, yeah.
In big numbers. When I was a kid, you didn't see any of these animals.
Because they had plenty of land.
Right.
They didn't bother with people. Now their land is getting eaten up, so they got to go somewhere.
And look at George Peterson was involved in the. Remember they were going to bring back the northeast rattlesnake.
Oh yeah, great. That's a great idea. Yeah, let's put that in. I love that. let's put it on this island. It's not an island. It has
No,
a road out to
it's,
it.
yeah, there's an
So
isthmus
no, they're not
that-
going to find their way out.
It's connected.
Really?
It's connected. I mean, like they're not going to be able to figure out. They just crawl down this way.
So, oh no, don't come out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Not only that, I've seen snakes swim. I don't know if rattlers swim, but snakes, I'm sure they
Oh,
can.
yeah.
They could swim.
Yeah, I'm all set with that. I'm all set with that. You know what's funny? You talk about coyotes. You know where the farmer's daughter is?
Yeah.
We know the owner, and he's a feisty old farmer, and he's a funny man. And we were going up there to buy something one day, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, he's got cattle on both sides. There's a donkey in each side. I'm like, what's with the donkey? And he goes, oh, I don't lose cattle anymore. I'm like, what do you mean lose them? Where do they go? He goes, no. The pack of coyotes will come and, track it down, knock it down, and eat it and kill it.
Yep.
So what's the donkey got to do? And he goes, donkeys and coyotes are mortal enemies.
Yep.
If the donkey can smell the coyote, he'll track it down and stomp it to death.
Yeah. They'll
And
attack
I never knew that.
They'll attack a coyote.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, okay. Well, he's a very, very interesting man because he has all of those old world ways. We were there one day, and I'll never forget this. It was hysterical. There was a woman there. She was complaining. It was late spring, and she said, "What do I do about a woodchuck? I have a woodchuck eating my garden."
They'll destroy your garden.
And he looks at the woman and he says, "Are you married?" She says, "What does that have to do with anything?" He says, "Just answer my question." She says, "Yes." He says, "Okay. So do you know where the woodchuck lives?" She goes, "I know where his hole is." "Okay. So when your husband comes home tonight or tomorrow night, give him a couple of beers." This woman's looking at him like he had 3 heads.
I know what you're going to say because that's an old
And
trick.
I'm like, what? And I don't know. I'm city. I don't know what's going on. She says, "What are you talking about?" He says, "Give him a couple of beers when he has to go to the bathroom. Go pee in the woodchuck's hole. You'll never see him again."
Nope.
They hate male urine.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the hell did you
Scares
find
the
this
hell out
out?
of them. It scares the hell out of them.
Like, where would you find this out?
Oh yeah, it works good.
Oh, it's a trip.
We've
He's-
always had them in the field where my son's house is. Now we don't have any more because he's there. But yeah, they don't
Too
like
funny.
it. But they'll destroy a garden.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You can do the same with if you got what do you call them? They furrow in the ground.
Moles?
Moles.
Yeah.
Moles the same way.
Mole has a territory though.
Yeah.
They own a 5-mile territory. I never realized that
And
until I had one in my house.
they're tough. You can flood them, and it won't. That people think, well, fill a hole with water doesn't work, because they got such a channel.
Oh, I remember in the old days when we lived in Jersey. They were underneath, and all of the little round,
Yeah, you
because
see.
they push the dirt up.
Yep.
They don't push it out. They push it up. Like, wow, it's really weird. I used to step on it, crush them down.
But you know what?
Welcome to Wild Kingdom.
So you can think you got a mole, but sometimes chipmunks will burrow.
Oh, they're all over my yard
Yeah. and
till the hawk comes back. I love him.
That's what I rely on.
Hawk.
That's
I tell
what
you
I rely on.
He used to sit right on the edge of my deck and just look around like, "Hey, come on out. Yeah, come on out." All of a sudden, I had no chipmunks. Gone.
Yeah.
And then he took off, and the chipmunks are back. I'm like, "Come on back."
Well, that's what all the animals do that. If you notice, the turkeys will disappear for a while because the coyotes come in and they disappear. Then when the coyotes leave, they'll come back. So they're always moving around. And the deer move around when the hunting season starts. They all disappear. They go deeper in the woods. It's amazing how the animals know what the hell they're doing.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's the only thing. The only problem that we're having is we're eating up so much of the land that they're
Yes.
coming out to neighborhoods and towns and stuff.
Well, they have no other place to go.
But they had a thing on the one of the news shows the other day about 2 beavers just walked into a convenience store.
In Cumberland Farms in
Yes.
Fitchburg.
Yes, just walked in.
They walked right in, yeah. Walked all around.
I don't know what they were looking for, but they didn't find
Yeah.
it because they left.
Yeah. Yeah. You imagine that? Well, it's right next to the river. The Nashua River's right there. I know that store. And the Nashua River's right there. So they must have came up out of the Nashua River and
Too funny.
yeah.
Animals, boy.
And beaver can cause you a lot of headaches.
Oh, can they? Well, don't you remember when they did that they couldn't trap beavers anymore,
Yeah.
and then all the houses were flooding in Wayland and Sudbury and
Yeah.
all of that. Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Well, talk to Brooksy. They've had problems with the beavers in town here. We don't see a lot of them because they go out there. They're not out there making themselves conspicuous.
No.
But you'll see the dams here and there. They've had problems.
Isn't it Brooksy, the guy who's going to retire next year? Or is it next year?
Every year.
Or is it next year?
Yeah, next year and next year.
My son always asks me because he worked with him. Is Brooksy retired? No, next year. He'll be seeing Brooksy in the bucket loader like this.
Actually, he's in good shape for his age.
He's in great shape.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I want to keep working too.
Oh, you don't.
You got to keep going. Let me see if I can. Okay. Go ahead. You're on.
Hey, Mr. Smith here.
Hey, you are.
Yeah. How'd you make out?
Well, I just I heard Russ ask about that. I did go down to the local officials, not the town manager. I did speak to the chief and the detective and expressed my concerns. We had a good meeting for about half hour, 45 minutes, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Have you seen an improvement?
There's not any satisfaction from that, then I will take it to the next level.
Good
but
for you.
I figured I didn't want to go above his head first,
Right.
that I would go to them first and then see what happens from this point on.
Well, has anything happened? Have they done anything? They put a car out there or anything? Or
I don't want to go into details of what we talked about
okay.
and so on and so forth, but they're aware of the situation. The detective was called in, and we spoke at length about a number of things. And,
Good.
Like I said, we'll see where it goes and
Yeah.
if anything comes of it. I'll just leave it at that.
right.
Good. I'm glad you did it. I'm glad. At least they listen.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get something done.
I mean, it's a big.
Also, because I'll tell you, the drug infestation in this town is just gone rampant.
It's not just
I
here.
understand their hands are tied in a lot of situations where they can't. Russ, you know this from firsthand experience that there's certain things they can do and certain things they can't do,
Right.
and their hands are tied to some extent. But I did make my concerns known. They did listen. They seemed to take it, at heart. And like I said, I'll let it go at that. And if nothing happens, I will go back to them and tell them I'll take it to the next level.
Good for you. Glad to hear it.
But,
Glad to hear it.
yeah,
Well, I'll tell you, who doesn't help the situation at all is the judges.
Right.
Because you have, we just had this thing with this guy at in the NFL smacking two girls around and kicking them and whatnot. But the judges don't hold them accountable.
Well,
And the judges don't hold these people accountable.
yeah, certain judges.
Yeah.
But they come back and say, "Well, I got no room for them. I got no place to put them."
I have several friends of mine that are judges here in Massachusetts and in Connecticut, and it's a difficult situation. And with the marijuana thing going on, it's only going to get worse. Trust me. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. I want to go back and something you've been talking about and give this guy a lot of credit. The animal control officer.
Yes.
Chauvin is one hell of a nice guy, and
Does a hell of a great job.
I'll tell you, I've called him several times, and every time he got up here, the coyote that he was after took off.
Yep.
But we had a mangy coyote last year, and he came up, and with one shot, he took him out.
Nice.
But he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he deserves a lot of credit for the job that he does do. So
He's been here a long time.
and for him as well.
And he
a lot
does
of
it
people
well.
realize that some of these coyotes have rabid, or they got mange, and that's going to affect your local pets.
Yeah, and he went into a history of how they get the mange and so on and so forth. And he said it's really a horrible death for these poor animals.
Oh, it is.
The way they do go after they get the mange. This one had very little fur on him. His tail had no fur on it.
Oh.
And the poor little thing, he says, well, I got to give Dan credit. He took him out, went down on him, made the sign of the cross, and he says, God bless you, little fella.
No, he loves these
Boy.
animals, but sometimes you gotta put them to bed like that because they're just suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not doing them any. You're not doing them any favors letting them run around.
No, I know. But anyway, I'll let it go at that, and then we'll see what happens on both fronts, and I'll let you know. Take care. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Yeah, he is quite the guy, Dan Chauvin. He is really something. Somebody complained to him one time that he killed a coyote. He says he does it because he has to.
Yep.
These coyotes are really sick.
People. Oh, you killed an animal. Look, I don't like to kill animals. It's just like hunting deer.
Right.
If you don't, either the coyotes are going to get them or they're going to starve to death.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Or they end up with a viral infection to thin out the herd.
Right.
So, really, it's maintenance.
Yeah. It really is.
And you got to have it. Same with the turkeys. If you get too many of them, they're going to start killing each other.
Right.
The food supply isn't there for them.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, anyway, looks like we have a proposed marijuana retailer.
Oh, do we?
Oh, you didn't see the selectmen's meeting?
No, I was.
I knew about it prior too, but we didn't want to talk about it because we were told the planning board already knew about it. But they wanted to go before the selectmen before anything got out and show what their plans are. What they're looking at is the right near Walmart, the property owned by Sue Vandersite.
Oh, no kidding.
There's 2 houses.
Yeah.
Well, of course,
It'd be nice to tear those down.
well, yeah,
'Cause they're a mess.
They're not going to use those houses. Believe me, they build their own facility, and
I really appreciate that. We do the glass for all of them.
oh, you do.
It's through a company out of. I was really shocked. There's a company out of Warwick, Rhode Island, that I've been doing business with for years. That does a lot of displays for, Macy's type of stuff
Yep.
and everything. I walked in there one day and there's this sign, this cannabis sign. I'm like, what's up with this? He goes, oh, we partnered up with the cannabis people, and we have the special glass. You're
doing
making
all
a
the
special
cases.
glass for the locks and everything. I'm like,
Ah.
great, brilliant idea. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really a good idea.
Hey, like the man said, this is the future. It's legal now, and
Well, it's funny because they were complaining about the traffic in Leicester. Well, because you idiots only let 2 open. So
Well, that's the
everybody's
state.
going to try it. You get the one in Wareham open. You get the one in Oxford open. You get the one in the North Shore open.
There's a
People will
proposal in
stop
Oxford.
coming. People will stop coming from all over for that.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's going to be one in Uxbridge. They're going to be licensed. They're taking a long time to get the license out.
Did you see the amount of taxes they brought in the first week?
Oh, I can only imagine. I mean,
It was $2.2 million worth of sales.
yeah.
It was $88,000 in taxes in a week. In a week.
Yeah.
How do you beat that?
And what they're offering here is, of course, we already got 3% sales tax, but they're offering another 3% on top of that. So we're talking 6%. That's not bad, especially what they sell this stuff for.
I'm not going, so I don't care.
I don't
But-
either. I don't
but-
care what they charge. Because
But it gives you tax revenue. It's another business.
I will go in there to see what it looks like.
Oh yeah, I'll probably go in to see what it looks like.
And probably part of the reason because I'm on a planning board and we're going to be part of the design, and I want to see how he does it and everything else. But other than that, I mean, I'm not going to purchase anything. I have no interest in it. But hey, if you want to buy it,
One of the interesting things is not the smoking part of it, but the edibles.
yes,
Because the edibles are great for people with cancer,
yes,
insomnia, stress, sleep apnea.
Yep.
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff.
oh yeah. But you got to be careful with that too. I don't know if you've seen the kid that handed out the gummy bears, the gummies. They called them Green Hornet. It comes in a right package. I mean, everything is set up to appeal to kids. I mean, this thing was called a Green Hornet, and it's in a fancy bag, and something you'd have for kids' candy. And I guess it's loaded with it, and a couple of these kids OD'd on it
Yeah.
because they ate too many of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're going to use it for medicinal purposes, there's a great purpose. If you're going to use it just to get high, it's a whole different world.
Right.
But the medicinal, and we're very, very lucky in this town. We've had a lot of educated people in this town. There's a young lady who has 2 PhDs in pharmacology, and she works with the state. She's like one of the heads of the pharmacology department of the state of Massachusetts. And I've had this discussion with her. She's a brilliant young lady, brilliant. And I said to her, talk to me about the marijuana situation. Tell me what your thoughts are on medical marijuana. And she said to me, because she knows me and she's breaking my chops, she goes, I'll make it really simple for you. I said, thanks a lot. She said, people with cancer, insomnia, aches and pains, other ailments have one thing in common. I said, okay, what's that? They're not feeling well? She said, no, they don't get good sleep.
Yep.
So you take the smoking aspect out of it, because anything you smoke hurts your lungs.
Right. Right.
So you take the cookies, the gummy bears, you ingest them, you relax to the point where your body can get sleep, and your body will fight for itself. I know a woman who's been doing cookies for 7 years. They gave her 6 months to live. This was 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
7 years ago, and that's fact.
I do know of people who are on chemo.
Oh yeah.
Who did the edible,
Oh.
and it makes a world of difference.
Oh, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yep. Makes a whole world of difference. And I said, hey, I don't blame you.
There's not a
100%
snowball's
behind that.
chance in hell you could ever get me to do chemo. It's just awful.
But you know, if you have no alternative, if the alternative is dying, and it's a painful death too. So, you know, what do you do?
I'll take the gummy bears.
Right. Well, that's what I mean.
I'll take the gummy bears.
Yeah.
I'll take the I like cookies anyway.
Right.
Yeah, well, that'd be great.
And the thing is, look what it's going to do for the snack food business.
Oh my God.
You know, Rich Green.
Right through what?
Rich Green.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I see him all the time.
Hey, it'd be great for him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He'll have to get a bigger truck.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
See?
Well, that was the joke I used to talk about all the time. Is you never saw anybody smoke a joint and killed somebody. Be like, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah, I get a gun. I'll get a Twinkie.
Give me a bag of chips.
Yeah, give me a Twinkie. That's the hell with it.
Twinkie.
Wasn't worth it.
You see, that's why they got a good location. They're right next to Walmart.
Yeah. So Walmart sales of treats will go up.
Yeah. The shelves will be empty.
Speaking of Walmart, I had to go get something. I was getting oil for my, the mix for the leaf blower. And
Yeah.
I pulled up to Walmart Saturday. Wrong idea. Bad idea.
Oh. Weekends at Walmart now.
Well, not only that, there's 2 cops, one at each end.
Oh.
A fire truck in the
Oh,
middle.
yeah, they're doing a toy collection.
And I got to tell you, the people are wonderful. They filled those cruisers, I'd say no less than 5 times.
No kidding.
Because they finally found something for Wally to do, the chief, He was taking them and taking them back and filling his cruiser, taking them back, and coming back and filling his cruiser and taking them back again. So, of course, I gave him crap. Well, they finally found a job he could handle. And what do you think the first words out of his mouth are? Hey, can you get me a piece of glass? I'm like,
The thing is that's amazing. I mean, that's a lot of kids will have a good Christmas
It's awesome.
now.
It's awesome.
And that's how generous people really are.
You had to see, I mean, obviously I know both of the guys. I knew the firefighter.
And I bet those weren't cheap toys.
No, these people were going in, buying a toy and saying, here. Or coming out with 2 kids and each kid would hand one up. And they were like, $8, $9 toys.
Yeah.
$10. It was terrific. And there was some big stuff in there too.
Yep.
Dave Moradian shows up. He's got this thing, and he hands it to, it was great. He handed it to Tom DeJordi, and it had sparkles on it. The whole front of his uniform was sparkles. You look like you were at a strip joint. They're good guys. We got a good crew. Yep.
Yeah.
Tom DeJordi, our resource officer.
That's a good thing that they did.
It's awesome. It's awesome. My son goes to one in Boston that a kid from town, Rory McKeon, always does every year for Toys for Tots, and they get like 2,000 toys in this one place, and then they all ship them to this, to the Marines or whoever.
Yeah.
That's great. It's good. Kids need Christmas.
You mentioned DeJordi. He got slimed, huh? You didn't hear about that?
No.
They had some kind of contest at the middle school, and the class that won got to pour, what slime is?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, they got to pour slime on them.
Oh, I'm sure. Wait till I see him. Wait till I see
Oh,
him.
you didn't know? You're going to check Facebook out.
No, I don't. I got enough paperwork at night to be on Facebook. My wife is on to see what the grandkids are doing. That's it.
Yeah, he got slimed at the middle school.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's good-natured guy.
Oh, Tommy's a great kid.
Yeah,
Tommy's,
I'm sure the kids loved it.
oh yeah. Come on, sliming a cop?
Yeah.
That's great. He grew up with my daughter. They were in the house all the time. Him and Dan Lamrose up in Auburn.
Yep.
Good families. Good families.
No, being a cop today is a lot different than was 30, 40 years ago.
God bless them. You're a target now.
Yeah.
It's awful. Just awful.
And you got to be you got to be a lawyer for crying out loud.
Not only that, you have to have a very calm demeanor. Yes. Because you're dealing with people that have no respect for anything anymore, and that's awful. Look at that! Look at that crazy girl today on 495.
Well, I didn't hear about that.
Head on. Killed people. Just came
wrong
across
way?
the wrong way. Came right across. And the one that ran the school bus off, 2 DUIs.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
What? Judges, cut it out. Get them. I was one in the other day, last week, on the news or in the paper, a 5-timer. Okay, a 5-timer. Come on.
But they're not driving with a license. They're driving without a license, obviously.
No.
I mean, they were supposed to send them up. I don't know if they still do it at Rutland.
I don't know.
But I can.
My wife to this day says, half of the problem you have with these people, some of these people, is you closed all your mental institutions. So look at the guy that killed his family with a hammer.
Yeah.
He was obviously demented. You had the guy that went nuts in Boston last night and ramming everything, and he wouldn't even, and then dove in the lake in the harbor. I mean, please, that's cold. I mean, he took his shirt off and dove in the harbor. There's obviously, take a look at him. He had mental problems.
That was the early 70s when the idea was to get rid of all the mental institutions. And I know it goes back. I don't know if you ever heard of the movie The Snake Pit in the 1940s.
Oh, sure.
I'll tell you, those institutions were bad then.
Oh, of course they were.
But you should have repair the situation. Don't close it down, because there are people that are in strong need.
Well, that's how Geraldo Rivera became famous, was the one on Long Island.
Yeah.
He made the. Do you know when I lived in New Jersey, you know what his name was? He was a cub reporter by the name of Jerry Rivers.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah, he used to call himself Jerry Rivers.
Jerry Rivers. And then he wanted to become famous, so he took the Hispanic end of it on and called himself Geraldo Rivera.
His real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he became
well, that's
famous.
because at that point it became more suitable to make yourself Hispanic. Mm-hmm. But prior to that, you didn't want to be Hispanic, so he wasn't Hispanic at all. He was Jerry Rivers. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people did that.
But yeah, that whole thing in Long Island made him famous because that was that awful, and it was a snake pit. I mean, it was awful.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there was some really bad, and there were bad things that went on.
They just closed one 2 years ago in Worcester.
Yeah.
They closed the quad lockdown. I was in it. I went to visit it because we did a catering there, and it scared me. I mean, there was some cooked people in there.
The one the one up by Belmont Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was more than 2 years ago, wasn't it? It had to be. When
the new one opened, how old is the new one that's next door?
I'm not sure.
Because I was
trade school's up there now
maybe
too.
maybe 5, 6 years ago, because I did a
Yeah,
catering
about
up
5,
there.
6 years ago, maybe. Yeah.
And it was frightening.
The trade school is up there now.
There was some troubled people in there.
But you know that those old buildings are considered to be haunted?
I don't doubt it.
And if you go to, what's Tufts now, Cummings Veterinary School, that was the
Oh, yeah.
Grafton State Hospital.
Yep.
Some of those
Westboro.
buildings are still
Westboro
out
State
there.
Hospital.
Westboro is, it's on Lyman Street.
Yep.
What also was on Lyman Street in Westboro was the Reform School.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, right
funny.
next to Route 20. Lyman School, they called it.
Ah.
Those are gone.
Eh. Now we just have to be inclusive of everyone.
Well, they do have juvenile detention center. They got one on Belmont Hill in Worcester.
Oh, didn't they used to have the Grafton Job Corps?
Yeah. But not all those kids are bad. Some of those kids are there to learn something. And they do some good things there. They make some nice stuff. But, some of these kids just need to get their direction straightened out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of single-parent families out there.
Oh, that's a big thing now. Let me tell you, it doesn't work out. Being a single parent doesn't work out. You really need
it's
two
hard.
people to raise a
Well,
kid.
not only that, you got a single parent, and you're trying to make a living.
Yeah. How do you do that? I mean, how do you unless you're independently wealthy, it's almost
It's awful.
impossible.
So I'll never forget. I was on the board of. I wasn't even on the board of selectmen. I was on the finance committee, and a gentleman I respect very, very dearly, love dearly, a wonderful man, George Murray. We were going line by line through the school department's budget, and I was, you knew me then. I was very stringent about budgets. I'm Scottish, boy. I tell you, I don't like to spend a buck. And he said to me, I said, "What is this nonsense of? You got 7, counselors in Balmer School. This is ridiculous." And he goes, calm as could be. He said, "Russ, I'll ask you to give me 15 minutes of your time in the next couple of days and go to the Balmer School with me." And because I respected him, he's always been a truthful, caring person. I said,
Yep.
"You got a deal." And we went to the Balmer School, and he opened up this file. And at the time, now remember, that was 25 years ago.
Gotten worse.
Of course, the single-parent ratio in that school at the time was 62%. I'll never forget that. 62%. I went, okay,
Yeah.
I got you. He says, "Russ, these kids come without shoes. They come without a coat. They haven't had breakfast. They didn't have dinner the night before. Their mother didn't, or father, whoever the parents, didn't come home, so they're fending for themselves. And Balmer School is to 5th grade. I mean,
Yeah.
You're not talking about, 17-year-old, 16-year-old
Right.
kids. You're talking about, 8, 9, 11-year-old kids.
Yeah. Go
It
to
was very interesting.
Don't get a breakfast in the morning.
Hey.
Now the big problem is the multiple amounts of languages they're dealing with. I think it's like in the 30s or something.
It's nuts. I disagree with that, because if you're going to come here, assimilate, speak English.
Yes.
I've never agreed with that. I don't think you should ever get rid of your heritage. I don't think you should get rid of your Polish heritage.
You
just
can
gotta,
keep it, but
right.
you don't have to. But you
Right.
learn the language.
Right, exactly. So you can assimilate, and you can get a job, and you can understand what the heck is going on around you. This nonsense they had was, somebody was talking last night on one of the programs, and they had an interpreter. Are you kidding me? 54.
We're getting close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't need an interpreter. You should be speaking the language.
Well, part of the problem too now, because of satellite TV, before if you came here, you listened to the radio, watched TV, you learned the language because that was the language that you saw. Now these people, they get this satellite dish
Oh, yeah.
and they watch TV from their homeland.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why the hell did you come here? Why don't you stay in your homeland? But they don't get to learn English anymore.
Nope.
And I'm talking to even the parents.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I mean, when I always laugh. I say, when the Scottish people came here, they learned how to speak English. Because you certainly cannot listen to a Scottish person and know what the hell they're talking about. But the French, the Italians, the Germans, they all came here and they learned. And, somebody, when
I
Central
grew up,
American.
there was almost all French.
All French there, eh?
And that's all you heard. But everybody was bilingual, except me. I only spoke English.
I'll tell you what, though, I believe in you. You should keep your heritage, and you should be bilingual. You should be multilingual, because you should know that. You should never give up the heritage. It's just.
You know, you go to Europe. I mean, everybody there speaks English in their own the tongue of their country, because that English is the international language today anyway. So, you want to get around, you learn English. You communicate with anybody.
Yep.
Anybody in the world. I think we got to wrap it up, right, Aaron? Oh,
No,
okay.
It's 55.
Well, sometimes you'd like to have me done it early because we don't have another show coming on here.
No.
But we got no show tomorrow night because everybody has the night off. I'm going out to the Southwick Zoo.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes, they have a light show
Ah.
that you tour the zoo with Christmas lights.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, cool.
And I'm going out there to do an interview with them for my radio show, which is on WCRN 8:30 on Sundays at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But you won't listen to it this week because the Patriots will be playing at 3 o'clock this Sunday.
I'll tell you, that Southwick Zoo is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
They've done an amazing. Have you been in that restaurant?
Oh, Guilford.
Oh
yeah.
My goodness, what a beautiful place!
It is.
Really, really
Great
done
food.
a great job. Yeah.
Yep, a beautiful view of the zoo.
Yeah. When my grandkids come up every summer, we take a trip over there. You know, all the grandkids go over there and take a trip. Yeah.
That's a large zoo
Oh yeah.
and a lot of different kinds of animals.
Tell you what, they're very, very, and they're very specific about what they're doing in there. Because people go into like the deer thing and they bring popcorn instead of buying the corn.
Yep.
Boy, that'll stop you right dead in your tracks. That's popcorn.
Worse
I don't
than
know
corn.
how in the hell they can tell corn from popcorn, but they can.
Yep.
Because I watched them do it.
Yep.
They're like, ma'am, is that popcorn? And she went, yeah. No, you can't feed that to the deer. It's bad for their digestive.
Yeah,
You
it'll
use
kill
this.
them. It'll kill
I
them.
was like, so they really pay attention to what's going on around them.
No, they do a
And I
great
got to
job.
see the red bat.
Oh, you did?
Have you ever seen the red bat?
Yeah.
Sucked me right in. Sucked me right in.
It's a Louisville Slugger.
I was like, yeah, it's a red bat. Great. Thanks. One of my grandkids are running up there going, Grandpa, it's a bat. I'm like, it says bat.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a red bat.
Red bat. Pretty funny. And they have T-shirts for it, too. It's pretty funny. It's a good play on words. Yep.
Well, it is really. It is exactly what it is.
It is. And it's a nice zoo. It's a great day.
It's great. It's a great place, and right here in our own backyard.
Yeah.
And I think they're one of the last zoos in New England now. It's not too many. I think you got the municipal zoos,
The Stone Zoo.
but that's municipal.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have any private zoos left. So and for what they do out there, that takes a lot of money and a lot of work.
They do a wonderful job. They got a great staff that takes care of everything.
Yep.
They constantly keep it up.
You think about all the work they got to do. We have to have vets in there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
The animals need care.
You think about that. You take that little train ride, and you see all those elks and stuff like that
Yeah.
in there. That's a lot of
Well,
work.
that's what you get with the tour now. That you take the train and you go through a light show,
Oh, no kidding.
the tram,
Yep.
and the zip line is open.
I must say, I'm not zip
I
lining
don't know
anything.
I don't know why I zip line this time of year.
Yeah, no, it's a little chilly.
Yeah.
It's a little chilly.
But there's people that do it. Hey, now we gotta
And
go.
we're done.
We will see you next week. You're gonna be
Yep.
here next week.
I will be here next
We'll
week.
be here next Wednesday.
Yes.
See you then.